we often talk about the Democrats' 80-20 doom loop, how this party in Wile E. Coyote fashion is constantly tripping over itself, siding with the most extreme and unpopular 20% and just can't seem to get out of their own way. Well, in Texas, the Democrats are redefining this 80-20 doom loop now to absurd levels. And even woke clowns like Stephen Colbert are calling them out for it. We got the latest on the little runaways in Texas, and let's just say that things for them have gone from bad to worse. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you make sense of a rapidly changing world where the far left is desperately trying to stop the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age. So if you want a front row seat on how you are changing the world like you never even imagined, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. The Texas Democrats who fled their state like cowards are getting obliterated as we speak. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton just launched a criminal investigation into Beto O'Rourke's PAC, his political PAC, for bankrolling the runaway Democrats with private jets, luxury hotels, and campaign cash. Now, I'm sorry, I had to do a double take on that. I had to stop right there. Beto O'Rourke has cash? Beto O'Rourke still has money? Socialist suckers are still sending one of the single biggest political failures on the planet money? Well, socialists have never been good with cash, that's for sure. Regardless, Ken Paxton is looking at potential bribery charges, campaign finance violations, and abuse of office for the Democrats. Paxton did not mince words. He said, quote, any Democrat coward breaking the law by taking a Beto bribe will be held accountable. At the same time, Governor Greg Abbott just filed an emergency petition with the Texas Supreme Court to remove the ringleader, Democrat caucus chair Gene Wu, from office entirely. Now, as I understand it, while Governor Abbott does have the authority under Texas's Constitution to enforce a member of the Texas legislature to vacate their seat if they abandon their post, Abbott's playing it very smart here. He's going to the Texas Supreme Court, which, if you don't know, is hard right. There are 9 Republicans and 0 Democrats on the Texas Supreme Court. So he's going to the court to have them order Wu's seat vacated. And as of today, the Supreme Court has dropped the hammer. They are ordering that Wu must respond to Governor Abbott's charges by 3 p.m. Friday. So we'll see how things flesh out in the next 24 hours. But let's just say I would not want to be Representative Wu at this time. Meanwhile, as we reported yesterday, the Texas legislature just issued arrest warrants for every single one of these runaway Democrats. And Texas lawmakers are now calling for they want to see an even more punitive redistricting map to be drawn in retaliation against this ridiculous stunt. Here's Texas Representative Brian Harrison.
For every 1 week the Democrats are gone, 1 more Republican seat gets added to the map. So if they're gone 1 week, instead of our new maps having 5 more Republican seats, they're going to have 6. Democrats gone 2 weeks, well, we went from +5 to +7. It's time to play hardball. I'm sick of the Democrats fighting harder for the future of Texas than Texas Republicans are. Let's change that. Let's get this going. For every week they're gone, let's amend the map. 1 more Republican seat. Let me know what you think. Talk to y'all soon.
Yeah, sounds great to me. I mean, I honestly believe, enough. They have become such a clown show. I think every single red state in the nation should intentionally gerrymander every remaining blue seat into oblivion. I mean, the Supreme Court's already given the green light on that. The Supreme Court already settled this debate back in 2019 in a landmark case called Rucho versus Common Cause. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote that partisan gerrymandering presents political questions that are beyond the reach of the federal courts. Translation, states can draw their districts however they want. If you don't like it, put in different representatives, put in different legislators. Federal judges can't stop that. This decision did not just give Texas the green light, it opened the floodgates to every state to redraw their maps. And guess what? It looks like Republicans are finally fighting fire with fire. More and more red states are now openly saying it is time to render the Democrat Party in red states completely and totally obsolete. Get rid of every single last vestige of blue districts in every single red state, bar none. And now's the time to do it because, frankly, the Democrats have never been weaker. Again, their hysterics surrounding what Texas and Florida and Ohio are all doing in their redistricting are eliciting accusations of hypocrisy even among their own liberal ilk. Even leftists are openly admitting that the Democrats don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to objecting to redistricting. Wait until you see this. But first, gang, we're not just fighting an information war. There's another war that's happening that many of us don't know about, and it's happening in our guts. There's a battle between good and bad bacteria going on right now inside you that can determine the health of the whole of your body. And here's how you're going to win that battle. Kimchi 1 from Brightcore Nutrition is the fermented superfood your body needs to arm the good guys with the right weapons to defeat the bad actors once and for all. All health starts in the gut, so putting the right fermented superfood in your gut improves every aspect of your health. We're talking your heart, your brain, even the quality of your skin and the growth of your hair. Containing over 900 strains of beneficial bacteria in each capsule, Kimchi 1 supports healthy digestion, fortifies your immune system, and helps detoxify your body. Kimchi has also been shown to reduce risk of obesity and promote smaller waistlines by curbing appetite and naturally boosting your metabolism. Kimchi 1 is all natural, non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, and 100% made in the USA. Today, you can get an exclusive offer by clicking the link below. Just use code TURLEY for 25% off your entire order, or for an even better deal, call my friends at Brightcore for up to 50% off your order and free shipping. Give them a call now at 888-597-0233. That's 888-597-0233. Now, here's where it all gets completely insane. And again, even liberals are admitting this. While Texas Democrats are crying about democracy under attack, why don't we take a little assessment of what their party has already done in blue states? Illinois Democrats eliminated 2 entire Republican congressional seats in 2021, going from a 13-5 Democrat advantage to a stunning 14-3 split. They've carved up their states so badly that Republicans now hold fewer than 4 seats for the first time since before the Civil War. In Maryland, Democrats gerrymandered so aggressively, they created districts that look like a broken-winged pterodactyl lying prostrate across Maryland. One district was so twisted, you literally could not drive across it without leaving it and re-entering it multiple times. And in California, their blatant gerrymandering has given Democrats a 40-12 advantage despite Republicans getting nearly 40% of the vote statewide. Republicans represent 40% of the vote in California, yet somehow they've got less than 20% of their seats. You want to see liberal hypocrisy in real time? Watch CNN's Scott Jennings absolutely destroy the Democrats' narrative on live TV.
In California, Republicans get about 40% of the vote and they have 17% of the congressional seats. So not a great example. But number 2, if it's rigging the election, that's your words. In Texas, is it going to be rigging the election when all these Democrats who say they're going to gerrymander in the other state, are you also going to argue that they're rigging the election or just in Texas?
Yes,
and have the elections been rigged in Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, New Mexico, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, and Rhode Island? Have they been rigged there as well? Because there, the proportion of Republican vote comes nowhere near what they have in Congress.
They did a normal redistricting process. If states end up going if states end up going and calling special sessions and doing all of these things to try to gain seats, I agree. I don't agree with that. Do I think they need to do it? Absolutely.
I understand that Scott just got a raise. I think he's the only one at CNN to get one, since they can barely keep their lights on. And I have to say, he so deserves that, having to deal with these borderline illiterates every single day. What he just said there is absolutely spot on. Illinois, Maryland, Oregon, Connecticut, Massachusetts. These are all blue states that have gerrymandered the Republican Party out of existence. In fact, you want to see the very definition of a self-own? Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey just threatened Governor Greg Abbott that Texas has, in her words, left us in Massachusetts no choice but to retaliate against what they're doing. And she said they're going to have to redraw the Massachusetts congressional map to offset the Republican gains in Texas. Somebody forgot to tell her something before she said that. Massachusetts is already 100% Democrat. There are 0 Republican representatives from Massachusetts. 0. Massachusetts has already done what they're accusing Texas of trying to do. They've already gerrymandered their state, their failed, pathetic state, to the total exclusion of one of the 2 major political parties. This woman is an absolute embarrassment. The exact kind of politicians that blue states consistently elect. There are no seats to pick up anymore in Massachusetts, you idiot. You moron. You political buffoon. There are no more seats to pick up anymore. You've gobbled them all up. Same with Connecticut. Same with Rhode Island. Same with Vermont. Same with New Hampshire. Same with Hawaii. Same with New Mexico, you freaks. These states are all guilty of doing precisely what they're accusing Texas of doing. But the problem is they can't do any freaking thing about it anymore. They've already exhausted all of their seats. And even wacko liberals like Stephen Colbert are openly calling out that Democrat hypocrisy. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, who has his own moon orbiting him, was just on Stephen Colbert's show the other night. And he was confronted by Colbert with Illinois' bizarre district lines. And even Colbert had no problem pointing out that this was a total losing battle for Democrats. They're doubling down on the 80-20 doom loop with this. Again, here's the truth Democrats just don't want you to know. They have already basically gerrymandered every possible seat they can get their hands on. Now that Republicans are finally playing by the Democrats' own rules, their own tactics are finally catching up with them. It's finally backfiring. And there's nothing they can do. They're already tapped out. There are no more Republican seats left to eliminate in blue states. Democrats have literally squeezed every drop of partisan advantage they can get. And now they're panicking because Republicans are freaking finally fighting back. This isn't just about Texas or redistricting or democracy or anything even remotely like that. This is ultimately about the complete collapse of the Democrat Party from federal political power for the foreseeable future. That's what this is all about. That's what they're freaking out all about. And ironically, it's their own tactics that ultimately sunk them. For years, they have been giving us these nauseating lectures about threats to democracy, all the while systematically rigging the game in their favor in every state they control. Democrats have run out of states to gerrymander, and now they're facing the consequences of their own playbook. The 2026 midterms are going to be a reckoning, and no amount of private jets or crocodile tears are going to change that. We're in it, gang. A historic shift is unfolding all around us. The fall of globalism, the rise of a new conservative age, and I explain exactly what's happening and why in my most important book yet, America Awaken. This book gives you the full picture, how we got here, what it means, and what you need to know to be on the right side of history. Do not wait. Go to americaawaken.us and order your copy today. The next chapter has already begun.